stage 2 PUD, which is a continuation of the first stage that we approved. I'm going to say probably before this commission began. I can't remember roughly when. So they're staying with all of the things that we approved. However, I believe they have upgraded some things. Our community is quite pleased with this presentation, and I'll let them go ahead.
All right, so my name is Michael Fox. I am from Toronto, and we are a company called Great Gulf. We're a residential and diversified development company, and we're working with Edens in Union Market. We're very excited to be in Washington. This is our first project in Washington, D.C. And I guess before I get into the building itself that I'm going to present, I want to reiterate again that this is PUD stage 2, which means that basic density, the massing, all basic parameters of the building have already been approved. And what we're really applying for at this stage is the execution of how we're building what those parameters direct us to build. So we're very proud of the design of the building by Shalom Architects, which is a local architecture company, which you can see over here. And I guess the basics of the building are there's 3 levels of underground parking. The first level of the building at grade is essentially retail. There's about 12,000 square feet of retail. And the lobby entrance over here is off of 4th Street. And then levels 2 through 11 are a mix of residential units from studios to 3-bedroom apartments. Our target market is kind of a mid-range market, and we're really kind of excited about what's happening in Union Market, especially in terms of the retail that's happening there and the number of people that will be there. And our building is taking advantage of that food orientation as well. There is amenity space on the 2nd floor, which is a gym, and there is a loungy kind of dining space on the upper floor, which is a show kitchen and dining facilities, and we really feel that the residents will appreciate that. One of the key architectural elements of the building are the slabs or the courts that kind of break up the massing, and those actually bring light into the units and into the corridors of the building, and I think that that's going to create a great living space. I also want to talk about the public benefits that this will bring. So, access. So here's our building, and this is a building called the Shapiro that's under construction right now, which was approved together with our building. And 4th Street Northeast, and an alley on the west side, and a new street, Neil Place, will cut through the development. Both projects are on top of a common garage, so people will access the underground parking through the alley. They'll come into the south building and then go under Neil Place to get to our garage. Our loading dock is also off the alley, so there aren't any curb cuts that are interrupting the street. Retail will turn the corner from Neil Place to 4th Street, and so it will really be an active retail corridor, and the streetscape along 4th Street and Neil Place will be much more pedestrian oriented than it is now. It will have the kinds of amenities like trees and really comfortable walkable spaces that really are something important for a mixed-use area. The fact that there's so much density coming to this location is a public benefit because it's taking advantage of the transit options that are in this area. The fact that Neil Place is coming through increases the amount of circulation. Our building is fully compliant with the PUD parameters, including the inclusionary zoning parameters, the LEED requirements. We're going to achieve LEED Silver, and in general, we're compliant with the Stage 1 PUD. So I guess in summary, we're very proud to have presented this before you and hope to move forward through the PUD process. And to answer any questions that you have about the building.
Thank you, and so we'll go into Commissioner Lewis, if you'd like to open us up, what about you?
We can move on with or others can ask questions because I'm quite aware of the project, and as I said, my community loves it and is supporting it.
Thank you. Commissioners, any questions or discussion?
Yes.
Commissioner Henderson.
I'm very familiar with Shalom Morales. His work is excellent. I'm concerned that we don't have a plan here before us we just have boards, visual boards, and I typically do not vote on visual boards. I'd like to see the specifications. I'd like to hear a presentation that I can feel comfortable saying to any member of the public, you know, that I did my due diligence in evaluating the project and moving forward. And I see that the zoning commission has not scheduled a date since at this time. And while Commissioner Lewis's community has had an opportunity, you know, to vet the project, I think I would not feel comfortable voting for it at this stage. I don't have any specific objections. I just don't have enough information. So I would like to ask that we consider tabling that. But my question to the development team is, what about the glazing on the building to prevent bird strikes? What steps have you taken to address that?
Can I interject before you answer that question? I guess pop me on my hand. I did not tell them to bring presentation papers because it's a continuation of what we have already approved. You know, so I didn't see the need to rediscuss what we've already approved. They have not changed anything in the negative, but instead has improved upon what we had already selected to approve. And
But we should be able to have the plans to actually reference that.
Thank you, Commissioner. Let's let them respond and then.
or it was one other thing. It was asked why about their date. I actually suggested that their case would be
I didn't ask
struck.
anything, I just stated that it hasn't, according here, it hasn't been reset since the 6th. I didn't ask a question about that.
Joe, I'll let you respond.
Well, Joe Bailey from Shalom Morales Architects can respond about the glazing.
On the glazing for bird strikes, what you're looking for is to give some visual clues.
I can't hear you, please.
What you're really looking for with bird strike prevention is to give some indication that glass pane is in fact there, so they don't fly into it.
Mm-hmm.
Usually the way we react to that is through ceramic frit onto the glass. That's a permanent solution. Other solutions you may see will be stickers and things. They, if you look at PETA, they recommend every 2 to 3 inches on center. That's just so as the bird flies up to it, they see it, recognize it, and fly away. So that's something we can consider as we go forward with the glazing. A simple ceramic frit just to let the birds know, hey, there's a plane here, don't play.
Thank you. Any other commissioners have questions or discussion?
And how many units or how many residents will be in this building?
There are, right now, we're around 140 units. There's a lot of movement within the units right now as we consider the market and consider where's the best place to put the kitchen and where's the best place to put the bedroom. But essentially, there's about 140 units in the building, which is completely consistent with the PUD approval. I believe the PUD actually gave us a range of 20% up or down from 165 units, so there's slightly less than there could be.
Okay, and so what's the bedrooms then? Has that been decided yet?
Nothing.
Let's do.
There's a mixture of bedrooms, so there's everything from studio units to 3-bedroom units. The majority of the units are 1-bedroom and 2-bedroom units. The largest of the 2-bedroom units are in the 11 to 1,200 square foot range. The smallest of the studio units are just under 500 square feet, but there's a wide variety of units inside the building.
Okay, that can change going up and down depending on the number, well, what you think the outcome might be.
I think we're going to arrive somewhere between like 140 and 145.
But you might have a breakout 3-bedroom, 2-bedroom studios.
I don't have a breakout right now.
And they will include those.
Any other commissioners have had a chance to speak yet? Any questions from the public?
You mentioned the loading dock. Is that a joint loading dock for retail and for people moving in and out, or how
It's a joint loading dock for the north building, so
Okay.
it's only applicable to this building, but it would be jointly used, and we'd have to work out, sharing arrangements between the retail component and the residential component. But that's a typical, configuration in a multi-residential building. The less, you wouldn't want to have more loading docks than you need, because that would mean that you'd have a lot of kind of vehicular uses that would interrupt the rest of the program.
Any further questions from the commission?
Can you remind us what the height is of the project?
It's 130 feet to the top.
110 feet. It's 110 feet plus a penthouse and occupied mezzanine stepped up roof.
It's 110 plus 20.
We've approved it already though, so we can't take back a decision that was already made. They have not made any changes. They have not gone up, so we can't really take the support back.
Yeah, that's essentially in line with the approval. Nothing more, nothing less.
So,
I don't
Can
recall
you
it
just
being
repeat
130
the
feet.
motion, what is it that you approved?
the motion on the floor is to support the stage 2 PUD, which is a continuation of what we supported, can't remember exactly when. But all of the guidelines that we had in place for stage 2, they have not deviated from.
Just given the case number, it was probably in 2014 or 2015.
Yes.
So it was several years ago. Move it down. You tell us. When did we go down?
Or he would know because
Well,
they weren't
2015 is
there.
when the formal PUD approval occurred. We presented for the commission probably late 2014 into 2015.
Okay, the motion is to support the stage 2 PUD proposal for 1300 4th Street Northeast.
I second it.
Moved and seconded. If there's no further discussion, we will call the question. All for the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed. That motion passes by a
We
vote
didn't call
of.
for abstentions.
Is there any abstentions?
Yes, I abstained.
Are there any other abstentions other than Commissioner Anderson? Okay, that motion passes by a vote of 501. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Next up, we will move to zoning commission case number 1605, regarding 500 Moore Street for not a second stage PUD, but a consolidated PUD. I'm sure Commissioner Lewis will tell us